The viewers, and welcome to the National Economic Indaba show. We're very excited that you could join us once again for this very important show. We're very excited too to have a very interesting guest for you this evening. This is none other than renowned economist Dr. Lubina Habazoka. Now, some of you will remember Dr. Habazoka as the immediate past ESZ president. Doc, you are welcome to the National Economic Indaba show.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Indeed, to those that are joining us via our social media platforms on the National Economic Indaba platform and on Millennium TV on Facebook, you're welcome, including those that are joining us via television on channel 95 on Top Star. Now, Doc, we have a very interesting discussion that we have to discuss this evening, and that is Zambia's economic landscape.
So when you look at Zambia's economic landscape now, of course, Zambia is, we look at various macroeconomic, factors to gauge the economy and also to maybe probably sentiments that are going on. So Zambia is coming from, a good rainfall patterns after last year's droughts. We can still feel the effects of last year's droughts because when the drought kicked in, we started importing some of the power, we started importing foodstuffs, and that had a negative effect on the exchange rate. So the prices of goods and services probably went up, and salaries haven't yet caught up. So there's basically low liquidity in the economy. Interest rates are high. Commercial bank rates, I think they're averaging around 30%. We still are facing energy problems, but on the fiscal side, I think that there's fiscal discipline in government at the moment. Those that are supplying goods have been told that they are being paid. We still have legacy debt. Those are people that supplied before 2021. I think government should move in and also start clearing those, so that money should start going into the economy, and certain businesses are going to be revamped. I think on the fiscal side, fiscal discipline, and I think that if you noticed from 2018 sorry. Yeah, I think it's my perfume.
Oh.
So when you look from 2017 to 2018, we started recording a negative trajectory in the economy. We had the droughts, if you remember the mini droughts, then we had the COVID-19. Then the rainfall patterns sort of recovered. Then we had the default in terms of debt. We stopped paying servicing debt, which gave us a breather. Now we have started repaying debt. So also that is putting pressure on the coffers. But overall, I think that the downward fall of the economy has stopped. I've seen the kwacha is at 28, sometimes goes back to 27. So if this persists up to the end of the year, we might have well say now we are on an upward trend. Of course, the IMF says we'll grow by 6%. I know that this will not trickle, or this won't be felt by the person on the ground, because we've been contracting, or we have been growing at a slow pace, but the economy has been expanding at a much higher stage. But this is, in economies, this is good news. Of course, you won't probably feel it. That is 6% on average. Sectors in the economy are growing. Some grow higher, some lower, but overall, that is good news, and we expect that. We expect, hopefully, this trajectory to continue.
Great stuff. Now, you've obviously touched on this in your preamble a little bit, but maybe you can just expand it for us. What are the key indicators of Zambia's economic growth, and how can they be expected to perform in the short to medium term?
So I think when you look at Zambia's economic growth, there are certain factors that we look at. The first one is GDP growth. I think GDP from COVID was growing around 1%, 2%. For this year, it has been projected to grow at 6%. I think the first quarter, we already recorded 4%. This has been the highest the past 5 years, I think. So this is very good on the macroeconomic side. the GDP growth side. In terms of interest rates, I think they are quite high. They are at 4%. Obviously, the interest rate is being used to curb inflation, which is in double digits. I think the last time we recorded single digits should have been six years ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think our inflation has been quite high. And why? Because of the exchange rate. So when the Zambian kwacha starts losing value, because most of the goods and services that we consume are imported, the prices of those goods go up high. So this is exchange rate created inflation. We hope it stabilizes and things move quickly. Energy sector, of course, you have seen load shedding continues to persist. Job creation, I think that we've seen a structural change in terms of job and business opportunities. A lot of people laugh at it, but the clever guy is actually minting on CDF, because when you open EGP, the Electronic Government Procurement System, a lot of people there, it doesn't see a human being, it just sees a company and the quotations that you have put in. I think those people that have managed to master this are making a lot of money from that. I think that is one area of opportunity that I'm seeing people can make money from. Of course, governments supplying of goods and services to government. We are having issues to do with electricity. We have a new sector that has come in, that is the supply of alternative sources of energy and their servicing. So if you see, to service a big genset that I have, people are asking for over 1,000 kwacha. So that is basically new employment that has been created in that particular sector. So when you look at that, I think agriculture sector growth, this year it is going to be far much better than last year because we have had rains, and I hope that these late rains won't persist because people need to start harvesting. So as much as we want the rains, at some point they need to go, but they need to come back early because we don't want to destroy our crop. In terms of the mining industry, we're still fighting with over KCM. I think KCM issue needs to be resolved quickly because KCM and Mopani put together can supply about 400,000 tons of copper a year. So Mopani, as a new strategic partner, that partner should up their game. KCM has been given back to Vedanta. Vedanta should do the ball is in their court. They need to also up their game. I've seen there's a huge mine that is coming up. Is it Mingomba? Mingomba, yes. I think it's going to be larger than KCM at its peak. Yes, so I think the good news on the copper belt, the people from Chingola, is that they might be able to, if KCM doesn't pick up, there's another mine that is going to come and pick up that stuff and that economic energy. That is going to be a large mine because they're using artificial intelligence to do the mining. The gold mining, of course, I think Bank of Zambia for the first time announced last month figures that they have been buying. There are various opportunities that we can do, but I keep on telling people that I think we are occupied with the wrong things in this country. We are dealing too much with politics and forgetting, the hardware and software to making money. Overall, I've been saying this in the last 15 or 20 years, ever since I've been on set. There are opportunities. The global economy, in terms of fuel prices are quite high. Of course, we received a massive reduction that outlined the change in policy for the usage of for importation of fuel. Actually, now it has been open to a lot of players. People are able to move in and supply to the country. I tried to link up quite a number of business people in this particular area with people that I knew. One thing that I've noticed is that Zambians don't have the capacity to be able to buy fuel because the people that sell fuel, they want you to pay them the money once the fuel reaches Dar es Salaam. They don't care what goes there. Now you're talking about a ship, 50 million tons of 50 million liters, or I don't know how much is there. It comes roughly to 60 million or $300 million, something like that. Very few Zambian businesses are able to afford that. I think that's where the problem is coming in terms of fuel prices, and also we don't produce it. But overall, there are a lot of, we can try to look at G2G, government-to-government agreements, to be able to procure fuel at reduced rates and on long-term contracts. Of course, we are in a market economy, the private sector are there. I think we'll probably continue seeing improvements. Then there's let me end here so that I don't answer all the questions.
All right. Okay, so there is a heavy reliance on mining in this country. The economy is heavily reliant on mining. I would like us to weigh in, on agriculture as an option, for economic growth. How can Zambia's agriculture sector be supported, to improve productivity and contribute to food security?
Well, I think that, and I've always thought that the first thing to do is, one, there's land. Land, we have it. There are farmers that have land. Those that grow maize, they are under FISP and the e-voucher system. So you can get the maize or any other input that you have. So the other thing that I want are the roads, the access roads. That's where farmers are spending a lot of money to be able to have access to the markets. I know under CDF a lot of graders have been procured. I heard the president complaining why the graders are not going in the fields. So inertia from the technocrats should be removed so that those diesel should be bought for those graders. We go and grade up to the farmers. I personally have a farm. I don't go there because the road is very bad. Okay. It's a 12-kilometer stretch from the main road, but I can take even sometimes 2 to 3 hours when the road is very bad. So which eggs or which milk am I going to produce? So we need to work on the roads. And once we do that, people we even move from town to go and live in the outskirts because they're building on their farms, monitoring production, bringing there. Then we need aggregators. So one of the things that we don't have in Zambia, people that are able to buy small quantities but put them together and go and supply to ShopRite. I know I'm a very good supporter of local content in the supermarkets. Buy Zambian, buy from small Zambian, because if the Zambian is not rich, then we don't have a country to talk about. But what we lack is ShopRite wants a guaranteed supply, for example, of tomato. So if I only grow a 20 by 20, I can't sign a contract with ShopRite because they want guaranteed supply. So this is where now we need business people that are going to be able to, that have storage facilities and incubators to be able to go and buy from these small farmers, help them grow these tomatoes and take them to ShopRite. So this is one such area that we are lacking. We are lacking in aggregators. But in overall, I think the agriculture sector has been the most supported sector in Zambia, but we just need to move from theory into practice and to diversify even away from maize. I can tell you that I haven't eaten in Shima since August.
Okay.
And I've lost 45 kgs. Wow. Of course, when I was out of the country, I've gained a bit. But what I'm trying to say is that we can also diversify our staple food. I know people are going to say a lot of things because I've said that, but I can tell you that we have a problem because we only have one staple food. You can find that there's no mini meal, but there's bread, and bread sometimes is even cheaper than mini meal. I'm just giving as an example. You can eat some other things, but I'm not saying you should stop eating a mini meal or in Shima. You have to eat in Shima. Please eat it. You are used to it. But in some cases, it's mini meal is going at 400 kwacha. It is something like $15.
Yeah. 370 to 400.
When you go into a restaurant, a T-bone is 380. So a T-bone just 0.5 and the bag of mini meal, they are costing at the same price. Yeah. And there has to be a farmer who's going to grow maize. So this farmer, are we giving them enough money to be able to entice them to go and grow maize? So I know maize is a very political good, and now I can say it because in the past I've been accused to be tied to other people. So now I can see it, and nobody's going to say that I'm saying it because. But in terms of the maize policy, what we need to do is to improve maybe the wages of Zambians. But maize is cheap, too cheap for the things that people go through to grow it. That one I can tell you, because if you came to me for advice, which one do you want to grow, maize or tomato? I'll tell you, go and do tomato. Okay. Yeah, but at some point, tomato also it's very profitable in the rainy season because it's very difficult to grow because immediately you spray the tomatoes, the rain comes, the chemicals go, and the disease coming. So a lot of people don't grow. They start growing it after the rain season. So you find during the rain season, the prices are very high. If there's high demand, you can't even find it. During the dry season, it's plenty and it's going to waste. That's why now we need other people to do more processing. But you know, Zambia, tukalala and tukalala. Once very focused MP, once very focused for cancer. I don't know what crime my beloved Zambia.
Interesting, indeed. Okay, so, you know, away from agriculture, you know, Dr. Habazoka, you know, what opportunities exist for growth in Zambia's service sectors, and particularly in tourism and, you know, financial services?
Well, I think that there are a lot of opportunities in Zambia, and I'll give you one example. You know, we have a lot of school leavers, like engineers. Yeah, some have done electrical engineering, some have done what. So these engineers can gang up today. You know, you need to look at the system that is existing and how you can make money from that system. I'm going to come back to the same very politicized and highly charged CDF. Okay. So the CDF this is a business idea, a workable business idea. I can't do it because I work in a university, so it's going to be competition to competition. I can lose my job.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I can't do anything in education because I'm in the education sector.
Oh.
So this CDF is sponsoring people for school. They are not sponsoring them to go to boarding or something. They are to do skills training and what. So these graduates, 5 of them, can come together, go and find the person who has the house, go to Teveta, pay, I don't know how much they pay for the course. Teveta is going to give them a license for skills training, and then they start teaching. They even get 500 students at once. Multiplied by how much they are paying, they are going to be millionaires. And now, since it is a private institution, not only training people that are on the CDF bursaries, you can also train people that are coming from outside. So that is basically capital that is, these are low-hanging fruits that I'm talking about. Supplying to the private sector, tourism. Zambia has a lot of people that want to come in. Everyone is on Facebook. Why don't you create a Facebook page where you say, I'm going to be a local guide. I'm going to be a guide to show you around the Zambian villages. A lot of Americans will come in, they'll phone you, you can even go and sign an MOU with a private agency because people want to go and meet a verifiable person and company. And you go there, you go and take them your village. And there are a lot of villages near Lusaka, because Lusaka itself is a village.
Very funny.
So you can take, there are a lot of things that we can actually do, but it's very good that we have the National Economic and Indaba Forum. We need to start having conversations as what can we do in Zambia to make money. Yes, for us to be able to make money, we need policies, but sometimes policies are there. They are just, maybe the people that make them, they over-politicize them, so that the people don't even want to get them. Then on the other hand, we think we need to get white-collar jobs. You get education now, you have to go into a job. But of course, government policies should be there. Some are there, some are more bureaucratic. It's very difficult to deal with ZRA, it's very difficult to deal with NAPSA, NIMA, but there are some people even under this current dispensation or system that are making money. So we need to start continuously having conversations. I'll tell you the sources of funds for business. I've already said business opportunities under CDF. Yes. You know what has happened? The previous government would give contracts to supply goods or to do small jobs, infrastructure development, to Zambians. And a lot of people got well to do under that. So this government has just transformed that and put it under CDF, meaning taking the same projects that were there, they are under, now they have expanded under CDF. So the person on the ground has access to that. Two, Citizens Economic Empowerment Commission, it's a source of funds. And I know a relative that used to call me every time asking for money, who was given a canter. Even some once in a while, even send me money during the weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's not easy to get that money. You need to do a business plan, you need to go and knock. Yeah. Then you can supply goods under EGP. EGP is a platform where you can supply goods to governments and through a computer system. So there's no face, there's no what, the computer selects and it selects according to the bid. Then there are various economic funds under various ministries. Then, of course, angel finance. There are people that actually finance business ideas. For me, what I can just say, let's continue pushing. Zambia is a developing country. We don't have money. We are broke. I can tell you before, we are old now, 60 years. 60. I'm telling you, 70 years ago, to attend the fair without shoes. Yeah. Nobody had anything. That's why we say I'm coming from the village, because we are all coming from mud houses. The people that we are saying Kukalale, they were living in Machamboli, Mauzakire, and these other places. Those are they were the only places where we could have access to. So it takes time for us to develop, but we just need to start having a conversation, and it's very good. Under this TV station, National Economic Indaba is going to be organized, and it's people from across religions, political affiliations, and everybody should come. We need to start having a conversation. I can tell you that money doesn't know a religion. Money is money. How to make it. Business partners don't know religion. We just need to be able to. We are all Zambians. Let's look at that opportunity. Let's get. But we need to talk. Because I don't know the problems that we are going through. We don't know the problem. So just in talking, yeah, we are able to exchange. This is the problem that we are facing. This is the solution. And to government. Government should be able to explain. This has been the problem of government all the time. They should be able to explain without emotions each and every opportunity that a citizen have. And citizens should understand that they have access to government without bribing. I can tell you, a month ago I wanted something from government offices. This person tells me, there, minimum, my friend, 70 pin, 100 pin to get this. It's very difficult. I said, wait, where do you write? You have to write to the PS. I wrote to the PS and sent the letter. After 1 week, I was called, no, the document you need to submit is. I just submitted the document. After some, I was called, you made the mistake here, you need to go and I made the correction. Then I was written, here is what you wanted. No, nothing. So, yes, but there were some people that wanted to just use psychology to milk, to milk or to do what. So, these are the types of things that I try to tell people. We need to start having right conversations, understand the structure of our economy and the opportunities. There are the opportunities. The opportunities are in mining, small-scale mining. Now mwenye na washani bali mumpanga yesu bali they are busy digging gold. Why? Because you are on Facebook. Two, that's mining, small scale mining. There are a lot of opportunities here. Small scale mining, just buy a shovel and go and look. If you know how the minerals, go and look at. You know how much it costs to get that license? 1,000 kwacha. Yes, means of mine, 1 pin. Small scale.
Is it that easy though, Doc? You're making it sound very, very easy. Right now there is a complaint that most of the economy is not even in domestic hands. So how easy is it for a person just on the street, an MSME, to stand up and say, I want to go and get a mining license, and they will be given that mining license? Because usually what has been observed is that maybe foreigners get these opportunities more than the local person. So how realistic is what you are saying? You are
very correct. It's not easy to get, and it's not mining is not a cheap thing. It's right. Very difficult to get such licenses. But there's one catch. There's what is known as an artisanal mining license. So an artisanal mining license, once you are given, that is the same license to start mining. Yes, so if you go and we all have chiefs, and these chiefs know, and the subjects, they know where the minerals are. Just go and know the area, go to Ministry of Mines and get an artisanal mine. And The goodness with today is that if there's somebody that is blocking you, you can go and shout somewhere on social media, no, I wanted this and I'm not doing it. People be scared and you're going to get it. I'm not saying that you should be able to do that, but I've experienced, because I was doing economic advocacy with EAZ. We used to, if we don't getting what we want, we'll just go on the media and blow it up and it will be given to us. Okay. So that's how, so I'm not saying citizens should behave like that, but that's basically how it is. But I can tell you, it's it has become much more easy now to do business. Because people are scared of being arrested for corruption. That is one. Two, I think with time we have managed to perfect the systems and the procedures, and also these opportunities have actually been there all along. Yes. The same government departments that you have there, people are just supposed to be able to interrogate. But I'm not saying our lives should just surround government. No, we need to look at opportunities. Congo, for example. So Congo is a very huge market, but I can tell you that Congo now has started farming. Yes, so very soon they are going to tell us, we don't want your maize. They loved our cement. That do not, there are a lot of cement factories in Lubumbashi. They now don't want our cement. There's a company that was created in Indaba specifically for the Congo market. Now it's finding it difficult to go to Congo. Why? Because we want to block the border, open it, do what? So yes, we need the right policies, we need the right conversations, and we need to be able to help people identify opportunities. You know, it's very difficult for even me. There are some businesses that a person will tell you, no, not where you want to go. There, that's where the money is. So we need more of such programs, more of such interactions, so that we can help people identify opportunities. Also, I used to say this under MMD, under PF, and now I'm saying it under the current government. It's not politics. If you want to have the right conversation with government, don't go shouting. Okay. Because if you go shouting, you are going to get a shouting response back. Go there nicely, sit down, go and talk. And have some maybe won't give you audience, some other people give you audience. But we are remaining with less than a year now to elections. This is the time actually you can set up your business. Why? Because people want to perform. Yeah, so this is a time to set up, to do what, and this is the right time and the right opportunity to be able to engage your MP, your councillor, your what, from all political parties. Because they want re-election. You know, it's selfishness on both sides. Selfishness on the citizen side, because the citizens want to get services. The politicians want to be in government. So it's a win-win selfish kind of relationship.
Right, Doc. So, you know, what are the main challenges? You know, and I love your positivity. You've spoken about how, you know, there is so many opportunities out there. But I still want to believe that the cry from, you know, some people on the street here and there when we do some interviews is genuine. And so I would like to know, what are the main challenges, you know, in your view, facing Zambia in reducing poverty and inequality, and what policies can be implemented to address this issue?
I think there are economic and administrative barriers that are stopping us from improving wealth creation, and also business development, and just be able to construct a livelihood. The first one I can tell you, let me speak about the economic barriers. First, the economic barriers. We have high interest rates in the country because the central bank wants to reduce the amount of money in circulation so that we can fight inflation. Inflation is a process where prices are continuously going down. So for you to be able to fight that, you need to suck out liquidity from the economy. That's one. Two, we've not had from time immemorial, we've not really created a system where we can get money for business startups. We don't really have venture capital funds. So venture capital funds, these are wealthy investors that put money together and invest in promising ideas. So in the USA, it's not the US government that funds business growth. It's these venture capitalists. Now for us, our people want jobs, but we also have talented young men and women that are able to do businesses. So once these guys get this funding, they can employ other people. Imagine if 100,000 Zambians were doing business, more businesses, and each employs 6. That's 600,000. They grow, they employ 10. That's 1 million. Yeah. You see, so we need to, this is very, very important, small businesses. That's why our colleagues from ZRA, our colleagues from NAPSA, when a Zambian has declared that, guys, I'm doing business, and this is my small business, make it as simple as possible for them to be able to do compliance. It shouldn't be very bureaucratic, because the people that start small businesses are not sophisticated. They have no money to pay sophisticated accountants. They have no money to pay sophisticated lawyers. So as technocrats, we need to come up with ways of helping these small businesses to be able to do business. That's where we are finding a problem. But when you look at the non-economic barriers, education, I can tell you, people say, and it's very sad, I see, coming from Munza, I see this on social media. Education is useless. Me, I got a degree and I do nothing. No, a degree is a prerequisite for all Zambians. We should have it, all of us. That's one. When we have that, that's when we do infrastructure, it is going to stay. But look at Zambia, you put solar, they vandalize. It's because people don't have knowledge. You put street lighting, or you do roads, you do signs, everything is going to be vandalized. People have no love for the country. You can only love your country if you're educated. Why? It's because somebody should tell you that loving your country is a priority number one. Look at even the way we do politics. I want to tell you that last week I traveled out of the country, and I was at a conference. For the first time, I went to a conference where there was a lot of talking. People talking among each other and sharing ideas. I realized how cheap the rhetoric is in Zambia. The things that we discuss. You know, old people, these are people that we are supposed to look at, but the discourse that they are having, not making sense. If, for example, me, Indaba, I'm aspiring for office, I will just come and tell you, I want you to do, I'm going to do ABCD. And start arguing with me based on ABCD. In those arguments, you find that I'm half right, you are half right. Then we are going to reach in the middle and move forward. In Zambia, we don't have a middle. It's parallel. Using this particular platform, we can actually bring all factions together to sit down and say, colleagues, what is the Zambia we want? I think Zambians are fatigued of seeing the churches. Zambians are fatigued of seeing the TikTok. For example, me, I just want people to tell me how the little businesses that I do, how they are going to progress. What is the policy towards those to my little businesses? That's what I want to. I don't want to hear who was what, who did what, who did. I don't want to hear those. I'm tired. You see. So let's love one another. Unity. A divided country cannot develop. We need to unite across lines. Have you seen? Jason said today I was speaking Bemba. Yeah. But now we are slows. This is Tonga. I can speak, but I'm just shifting to them because I grew up on the copper belt. Right. And that's the language that I flow in. But I'm not trying. Why can Zambians be like me? Because me, I don't see tribe. Right. But I see Zambian. You know, for us to be a successful nation, you and me need to be rich. Because when we have money, our problems and complaints are going to reduce. But so we need to start helping each other to create wealth. We need to help each other. So your fellow Zambian is selling something, let them sell, go and buy from them. If your fellow friend has a business, that's how you start building an economy. If there's a Zambian company making mineral water and a foreign company making mineral water, don't say, if I'm Zambia, I think I have to have a chamboli. Now that's the hours. No, go and buy Zambian. Yeah. Proudly Zambian. Go, you know, if you knew how much I love all Zambians, you are actually going to be very shocked. If we just woke up one day and they loved one another like that, this country is going to be to be a better place. And going forward, the National Economic Indaba program, this is a step in the right direction, and I'm going to also help you find sponsorship for this program, because we need more people, more discussions. Let's use this platform to be able to grow consensus. Let's bring a PF and UPND on this platform, and then just start discussing political ideas, ideologies, and how we can improve livelihoods of. Let's bring the socialist party, because if I don't mention socialists, they are going to say that I'm sorry that
political platform.
No, I'm an economist, and this is political economy. And let's also give credit where it's due. For example, you know, I'm a conservative economist. The current government is liberal. So we are parallel. I'm conservative, they are liberal. But I can't tell you that everything they are doing is bad. There are a lot of good things that they are doing.
Right.
Our economy was headed downwards. I think it has stabilized now. So we need to give credit where it's due. There are also negatives that are happening. We need to be able to mention up. We need to have the freedom to be able to talk about. That's having a mature conversation as a country. And that's what an Indaba is not about. People are not supposed to be upset about what. Me, I can tell you today, you're going to find me drinking with the FDA. Even if they don't drink, they drink with me. The following day, the Catholics, I'm drinking with them, because I'm investor, I'm a Zambian. No reason of being.
Great.
But
well, to those that are joining us via our social media platforms, we are having on the program, renowned economist, Dr. Lurinda Havazoka, on the National Economic Indaba program this evening. So we are glad that you are here with us. So Doc, now I would like to know how effective have social safety nets, such as social transfer programs, been in your view in supporting vulnerable populations?
To people that don't get social cash transfer, they think it's rubbish. I am telling you, that is and Zambia is one of the few countries that that gives social cash transfer. So that money is so one of the functions of government in public finance is to perform the distribution function, meaning they are distributing monies from those high income earners to low income earners. Social cash transfer gets money from some of us who work under paying taxes and giving it to the vulnerable, the poor, somebody who has orphans and what. And currently there are over 1 million people that are depending. And then one time I didn't have a job in this country, I was given 50 kwacha of today. I've recently, up to now, I remember, because I was broke. Now imagine these people, how far this is going. You give a person, I think it has been increased now, it should be around 300. I don't know somewhere there, I don't know the correct figures, I don't want to lie. But this goes a long way. I'm very happy that the current government has not scrapped social cash transfer, they have expanded on it. Then there is another safety net that has been introduced. So in 2014 or 2013, I was working at the Copperbelt University, and the Minister of Finance, through National Economic Advisory Council, asked us to help develop a youth empowerment strategy. So we even went to Kenya to benchmark a program called Kazi Kwa Vijana, Jobs for the Youth. And one of the interventions were cash for work. Yes, but there it was called Jobs for the Youth. So this, there's another one that is, what are they calling? Cash for work, eh?
Yes, it's cash for work.
Yeah, I don't know how long it has been, but I think it's attributed to the current government.
Yes.
Yes, so that is a very, very good program. Zambians, we are different. So there are Zambians that are educated, that are able to find jobs, not only in Zambia, but outside the country. Those, they are companies and their businesses. But there are Zambians that are not educated. They don't even know how to write, but they can sweep. Yeah. Now, you can't employ them with the councils because you don't want to bloat government payroll, but you can get them if there's weeding in some area, sweeping in some area, you need those people to go and work. So that cash for work should be more advertised. Government is doing it. I heard it by accident. Okay. For a researcher like me. This information could reach each and every Zambian that we have such intervention. This is a very, very good program. Kudos to the current government for introducing it. Those are the things that were supposed to go and sell. It's even far much better than CDF. Because when you tell a guy with a corner, no matter street. You see, so you are more like creating jobs, but it has to be sustainable. Now I'm talking about the negative aspects. I've praised it. Now we can be corporate. The negative aspect, maybe with the funding part. How are we going to be able to afford to fund it? This is where now we need to find ways of growing the tax base. But growing the tax base is not going to the same person whom you collect tax from to say, now we are increasing your taxes. We need to start, those people that are operating in markets and what, even a Kadito, pay something so that we should be able to transfer this money from those that are, from you who are doing at least something, to those that are not working. These are our brothers and sisters. If these people don't have this cash for work, do you know what they are going to do? They'll come and drop you at night.
Yeah, they'll steal.
They'll come and steal. I always tell rich people, say, guys, stop having conversations alone. If you are staying here, I'm not saying work Chainda, poor. I'm here example. For example, you live in Minu Diabet. Across the road is Chainda. I'm giving just an example. If you in Minu Diabet, you are even doing braise and throwing the meat, and the people in China are watching how the meat is rolling, and they are saying that they will feel bad, and there's going to be resentment and tension in what. So we need to find a way. Let's start paying taxes and find a way of how we can also help our brothers and sisters. Job creation is done by the public sector, which is government, and the private sector. But for the private sector to create jobs, the right economic policies should be there so that you can ease the cost of doing business, so that we can be able to pick up other costs like employing new people.
Great stuff. Now, what are the key investment opportunities in Zambia? I know that you have spoken widely about, a couple of opportunities that you feel people can venture into that can really make them money. But, what are the key investment opportunities in Zambia, and how can government support the private sector development?
The in thing that is coming now is known as network state. So creating a digital environment in your country. Okay. So what is happening now across there's Bitcoin, that coin, and all those things. Those things are big. So people are creating a virtual industry where everything is on the virtual. So you create more like a virtual country with virtual banks. So people can be able to keep money in cryptocurrencies, People are able to save there, to do exchange rate transactions, to do everything. Then when this is organized with government involved, government are going to start collecting taxes, not only from Zambian players, but from the Congolese, from everybody. So what normally happens is that if you have a virtual bank for crypto, in your virtual government-approved world, you are creating an alternative economy. And that economy can transfer money from that crypto world to the main banking sector. So Tanzania is actually going to do that. I met some guys that are doing this. Tanzania is going to be the first country to do that. I said, Tanzania is, and now they have introduced foreign exchange controls. Zambia is far much better because our policy is actually very liberal. So if we need to start creating an economy in the service industry, if in our when you look at Bitcoin, nobody knows even where the company is, but it's far much larger than, I don't know, million times larger than Zambia's economy. When you look at Elon Musk's Starlink, Tesla, Facebook maybe have 15 buildings the world, but they are $1 trillion worth company. So even us, we need to start knowing that gone are the days when you have to get shabby or picky to start working on the ground. Let's start introducing new forms of the economy. But for that, we need to be a bit liberal in terms of financial regulation. Maybe the Bank of Zambia should be a bit liberal, the Securities Exchange Commission, the Pensions and Insurance Authority, just to be able to accommodate new platforms. And I think that's where the kids are going. We are going to move all the kids from insulting each other on on Facebook and leaving bad comments on your map's page, they'll move into trading Bitcoin. Because people don't have anything to do.
The problem, with this country, and I don't know if we are ready to go that route, at the moment, because we've seen a lot of Ponzi schemes, where this, thing is brought up, investing this, investing that, and people run away with the money. So, are we ready?
That is very true, and that's why even the partners that I would want to partner with, I'm very skeptical. I think I've been paid Bitcoin once, but I've never dealt in crypto because I believe in our domestic monies. I'm very skeptical about it, but the guys that are in blockchain, if they explain to us, and if our regulator moves in, or our regulators move in to come and see that this is legal, let them do it. So that's why I'm against it coming without regulation. It has to be regulated, so that we safeguard people's investments. And just from this same Ponzi schemes that you are seeing, it means that people have money, they don't know where to go and invest that money. For example, if the banks are charging 34% yearly interest, why are they giving people 8% on their deposit? So they should start giving 18, 19. You see people are going to start doing that. They are going to start investing. There is a regulator called Securities Exchange Commission. It's the regulator of those investment collective vehicles that will get money and promise you a return. The Securities Exchange Commission. So if you encounter such an institution, I've been to a Securities Exchange Commission. They are one of the most welcoming guys you ever find. I'm telling you, they are a very good regulator. I've been there, I've been briefed, I've been told everything, and I've of course had some sandbox that they suspended, and I went to complain. Then they sat down and explained, proper understood, and for Zambians, if there's a person telling you come and invest, you have to ask where is the license. Not just say me company website. No, you have to go and ask for a license. But also we need to make it easy for us to be able to start doing those collective investment schemes. What we don't have is that we are working in silos. We have 5 pin, we have 2 pin, we have 10 pin. So this money has to be put together, and we start funding people that want to do businesses, but it has to be done in accordance with the law.
Okay, so how can Zambia's trade relations with neighboring countries and the rest of the world be strengthened to promote economic growth?
One thing I can tell you is that this, in terms of trade relationship, I can tell you this is a Zambian thing. Former ambassadors, current ambassadors will even tell you that they might be approached by investors in the country where they are, but the technocrat here doesn't want to talk to the investor. Why is it that always investors want to go to State House? Because they want to be introduced to State House so that they can use State House to be putting pressure on the technocrat who's supposed to give permits, licenses, and all those things to be able to go. So we need some form of a one-stop shop. One-stop shop.
Yeah.
Where it will be very easy. Nzema should be able to give quickly and without bureaucracies. So some of this inertia that you see going is at the technocrat level. I mean, your MP wants to be voted in the next time. Yes, but me, I'm a civil servant. I don't care. Governments come in, governments go.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be able to push. So we need to start having conversations at that level. In fact, the first conversation is that how can we improve the effectiveness of the technocrat? Me, where I work, I have targets. They tell me you're supposed to raise this amount of money. So I work like a horse. All the time, people call me, I'm in a meeting, I'm doing that, I'm doing this, because I have to produce results. Even me, the little businesses that I run, I ask for that. But you find that immediately you start asking for targets, nobody wants to perform them. So I think in terms of trade relationship, first we need to put in sync the technocrat. The people at the embassy and the people in Zambia should be able to work in sync. If an investor comes, you need to be able to quickly pick up that information and go. Then it's not only about bringing investors to Zambia. We need to also help our Zambian businesses with information on how they can take their goods to Congo, for example. How can I take goods to Nepal. So you ask, who's the ambassador responsible for Nepal? What they are in this country. I write to them, ambassador or trade attaché, how can I send this thing? Then they have to have that information on their fingertips. So as long as we are going to be changing the hardware, leaving the software, we are not going to achieve anything. So we need to look at these same minor problems and sort them out, and we are going to achieve a lot of things.
Okay, so what impact, do regional trade agreements such as the Africa Continental Free Trade Area have on the economy?
These have a very huge positive impact, and we need to push them because we are trying to create a common market. So a common market is where you have quota payers from your servants' quota tree, and you want to send it in Congo or in Gabon. No, people just say bring it without tariffs. For us to be able to be competitive, let's say, COMESA is a body that is headquartered in Zambia. We are very lucky to have a regional economic body. And we are very lucky to have a Zambian as the Secretary General. So what we need to do as Zambians, let's keep it busy. Let's give it more prominence. COMESA, Egypt is in COMESA, Morocco is in COMESA, Tunisia, Algeria, it's a common market for instance. So let's start strengthening it. Visa-free regime, why do we need the visa? Or why do you want to collect visas from Egyptians? Or why do you need Zambian? When you go to Egypt, you won't stay there, you just see that there's too much sand, you come back. That's why there are no people in Western Province. Even the same people, the Egyptians, they'll come make their mind, they'll go back. We need to start having a conversation of where we are open to each other, and let's just open the borders. But it has to start with the individuals. Also, how we talk about our country. If every day you are going to be saying everything is bad in Zambia, nobody is going to come. In 2008, some guy, I said, let's go to Zambia. He said, no, I can't go there. You have too much AIDS. AIDS, yes. You have too much AIDS. I can't go there. Because it was, yes, rightly declared as a pandemic. Why? Because we needed donor funding and what. But the certain NGOs started taking advantage of it. So they created such a huge problem. I'm not saying in terms of awareness, everybody knows, about the disease and everything, but they started using it as a cash cow. And it was sending negative sentiments to the outside world, yes. Because nobody wants to live in a country that has an epidemic of something, be it yellow fever, malaria. Even up to now, they ask me, malaria, what's the problem? He says, Zambia is almost a malaria-free zone. Last time, what? But the NGOs that fight malaria would just go and start painting how the situation is bad. We have to be realistic, yeah? So it's same with politics and also our discourse as a country. We're not fighting. The Zambians are peaceful people. Just go outside here. People are, when it comes 20 hours, everybody is going to sleep. Don't think that's when they are thieves. Everybody is scared of the thief. So even the thief is scared of the people that are sitting on the street. Of course, we have 1 or 3 instances, but Zambia is relatively a poor country. So let's go and support and sell our country. But we need to know that this country exists for Zambians. The first priority should be the Zambian citizens.
Great stuff. To those that are just joining us on the National Economic Indaba Show, we are having, renowned economist Dr. Luvinda Habazoka, and we are, in the dying minutes of the program. So, Doc, as we end the program, I would just like to know how Zambia can leverage its natural resources to drive economic growth and development.
I think we can only leverage on our resources if we realize that nobody else is going to develop Zambia apart from ourselves. We unite, and then we start converting our resources into, into products. You will be shocked that even businesses sometimes in Zambia, they want grants all the time. You can't be given, there's no money that is going to come for free. You have to work for it, unfortunately. So for us to be able to use our resources, water resources, we need to ensure that water that is flowing from the source of the Zambezi, passing, we are not just looking at it and it's ending up in Mozambique. And we need to use it. That fact that by the time it's reaching Mozambique, we have used that water for irrigation. We need to, the mining industry, we need to be very jealous of our mining industry. It's not an industry for crooks, no. An industry for Zambians. Emerald mining, Zambians are scared. You have left it for West Africans. Go there. You can't sit on the bench just, you're scared to go there, the three of you, go 5. No one is going to kill you. Go and do, this is your country. That's why you have an NRC. We also need government support. Government should support, government should continue talking about empowerment, empowerment, empowerment. This song should be sung all the time. Then we need to have conversations. We need to start talking. Without talking, there's going to be, we are not going to understand where we want to go. For example, where do you want to be found in the next 5 years? Technocrats are very good. They will go and write to you Vision 2030, 7th National Development Plan, that plan. Those things go nowhere. Why? Because they have not been written by the citizens. So these development plans are supposed to start from the street. What do you want? I know the street needs guidance, because I've asked people before, say, if you want to invest in you, where should we take the money? They said, I want to start boxing. But that person was 45 years old. So they need to be handled, to be helped, to be, so the street has to be also taught and helped. But overall, those of us that are able and have the knowledge and have the money, we should be able to unite with those people that are willing to work to be able to produce products. The last thing I want to say, human resource. I can tell you people don't want jobs. I was looking for an office in Indora last week. So I went on Indora Facebook pages. Then this company had advertised, we are looking for sales managers. Fuel paid for, there was fuel that they were giving them or transport, then they were giving them some allowance, then commissions on sales. Zero comment.
Are you serious?
Zero comment. When I looked at Kitty's post, there was over 5,000 comments.
But Doc, are you sure? Because when you just get an advert from, say, Young Heroes, do you know that thousands just for that job of, those jobs in there, catering to clients, or just at the till there? Do you know that we saw a post on social media just a short while back where there were thousands of people who went to queue for just those jobs?
There are certain jobs. I think Zambians don't want to be in sales.
Okay.
I think Zambians just don't want to be in sales because I advertised for a job of driver. I received over 2,000 applications. I wanted just one driver. Yeah, those jobs are there. But Zambians should also, we need to be able to say, we can do any other job. Do you know what? I can be called to Livingstone to go and do a job for 500 kwacha and I'll go. So when I used to be at CBO, sometimes they would call me to come and speak in Osaka and tell me, no, there's no transport refund, but we are giving you a 500 kwacha. It was rubbish, but I was coming. Do you know why? It was the image that I was doing. So Zambians, we want it. No, it's time. Cultivate your image. Look, I'm here talking. Yeah, I'm cultivating. This is the image. You don't know how much I'm gaining. People that have never heard me speak, they have heard of. If they want somebody to train tomorrow, they are going to call me because now they know what? They know my specialty. So we should be, as Zambians, we should be able to take up any job that we want. I'm telling you that if you went to the USA, you can't live there because in the USA, it's even far much more difficult to do work. People there do work, they don't sleep. That's why if you have a relative in the USA, when they come to visit, maximum 3 days. If you have noticed, from USA like 3 months, it's a very problem. They just come for 1 week, 2 weeks maximum, they are gone. Because in the USA it's vigorous, you need results and we need to move to that. Colleagues, I am not speaking for you as a person in government, but as a fellow citizen, I can tell you as a fellow citizen that if you continue listening to people that are complaining, you will not go anywhere. There is a lot of money out there. Let's go and make the money. Yes, we have a lot of challenges here and there, but there are possibilities. There are people that are trying to do something. But I think with time, things are going to happen and we are going to, God willing, we are going to be rich. At least my father had maybe 2 jackets, me I have more than 2 jackets.
Great stuff, great stuff. Now, Doc, we have come to the end of the program, and we want to thank you. We know that you had a very big schedule just coming in from Moscow, and you know you had meetings, but you still took time off your busy schedule to make it to our show, and we don't take it for granted. We're very, very grateful.
Thank you very much.
There you have it, our viewers. On the program today, we featured renowned economist Dr. Luvinda Habazoka, and we were discussing, you know, the economic, you know, trajectory in Zambia. And, you know, to those that joined us via our social media platforms, we say thank you. And until